Welcome back, guys. We are going to be continuing the story of just different Disney movies, or in my own opinion, good Disney movies. And I'm going to be talking about a movie that I think a lot of people, not including myself, not only enjoyed, but they just firmly loved. And today we're going to be talking about a movie that came out in 1994 called The Lion King. Now, I I have a lot of love and respect for this movie. I do. I loved this movie as a kid. I still love this movie. This movie will not only get you to laugh, to cry, to just be hyped up, full of energy. The entire story of this, if you guys have never seen The Lion King, I'm pretty sure a good majority of you guys have. But if you guys have never seen The Lion King, first off, it's been out for more than however many decades now. Starring, of course, the legendary James Earl Jones as Mufasa, Matthew Broderick as older Simba, Jonathan Taylor Thomas as young Simba, and Jeremy Irons as Scar, Rowan Atkinson as Zazu, and Robert Gulliman as Rafiki. Now, the entirety of this movie is centered around Simba, who is the newly appointed prince of the Pride Lands. His mother and father, between Sarabi and Mufasa, have announced the birth of their brand new cub, and the entire land of animals gather to give respect to the new soon-to-be king being born. And what happens is Scar, who is the brother of Mufasa, is honestly butthurt that he will now no longer be the second one in line if Mufasa dies. Because if Mufasa dies, then next thing you know, Simba is going to be the new king. And so what happens is Scar comes up with this idea to go ahead and not only kill Mufasa, but to kill Simba. And it goes halfway to his plan. And this is what always kind of got me. And again, if you guys have seen the movie, you may know what I'm talking about. Because Simba had his own relationship with Scar. And he did love him to a certain degree, I think. And Scar, I think, I would say it was like a love tolerance that he tolerated Simba. But at the same time, he may have loved him in his own messed up way. And we did not know a lot about Scar until his backstory, way later on in other, forms that would come up later, which I have not seen. I've had to look it up. I don't know the whole story. But for this version, Scar comes up with a plan with the hyenas to go ahead and cause a stampede that will kill Mufasa into where he dies in the stampede. Simba finds him, and Scar tells him to run away because otherwise everyone's going to blame him, and he sends the hyenas after him. And when this happens, he pretty much puts his own self in exile. And then you have probably two of the most beloved characters of Disney, Timon and Pumbaa, find Simba, and they pretty much raise him for a good majority of his life. And they have him eat bugs and all this other kind of random stuff because that's how he's going to survive. And then his best friend, then become love interest Nala, finds Simba and tells him that Scar became king, and everything's just been pretty much decimated over the years to where there's no food. As she said, there's no food, no water. If you don't do something, everyone's going to starve and die. And no one knows the story of other than Mufasa died in the stampede and supposedly did Simba while Mufasa was trying to rescue him. And then when Scar is still in power, you have where the hyenas moved in, and now the lionesses can't really do anything other than be Scar's basically maitre d's that goes to get him food and for the hyenas. And when this happens, you see where even Rafiki, who is I would say the guide slash shaman of this story, to where he finds Simba. And he even helps him, in a way, confront his past, to where he blames his father's death on himself, and he has to confront his past and be able to go back to his home and confront his uncle and take the throne. And that's what he does. And probably one of the most intense moments in this movie is when he faces Scar and he tells him, he says, step down or fight. And when he tells him, you know, like, here's my little secret, I'm the one that killed Mufasa. And then that's when he tells him to say what he said louder so they can hear you. And the voice acting at this time was just absolutely phenomenal, you know, because you get that, like, yeah, Simba beat his ass, you know, that type of stuff. And then you just see, you know, that scene that I think really hits in my head is when he says, I killed Mufasa. And you just see where the hyenas attack Simba, and here comes all the lionesses, and it just got this big fight. And Scar runs, and he faces Simba, but Simba does get the upper hand to a certain degree. And then at the end, they don't show it, but supposedly Scar got eaten by the hyenas. And he apparently did. And that's when Simba takes the throne to be the new king of the Pride Lands. Now, aside from the story, the music on here was phenomenal. Between Can't Wait to Be King, to Be Prepared, to Feel the Love Tonight, to Hakuna Matata, which is probably, Hakuna Matata has been probably one of the best songs that ever came out within Disney to begin with, and it still is, and it's very, very popular. And the entirety of this movie, it is that definition of a lot from Greek mythology to Egyptian mythology, of the whole, the uncle is going to face the nephew for the throne, and that's pretty much what happens in this. And I always had a theory on here, which was kind of interesting, of if Scar, again, yes, Scar was an evil character. He was very manipulative. He was very charismatic. He was very crazy in his own way. But what always got me was he did not have the guts to kill his own nephew as a cub. He never did that. And a lot of people are like, well, yeah, he is going to have the hyenas do it, so that way he wouldn't be blamed. But it was like, okay, how would he be blamed? No one would know if he did. The only ones that would know would be the hyenas, and they were too scared of Scar to do anything at that time. So that's what kind of made me wonder that. But again, it's neither here nor there. But overall, I do enjoy The Lion King. I think it's a great movie. I think it's a great family movie. I think it's a great musical movie. I think it's just a good old Disney movie. And I'll highly recommend this to anyone that has not seen it. But again, if you have, great. If you haven't, that's fine too. What are your thoughts on The Lion King, guys? Hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you guys did, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Comment down below if Lion King is your favorite, or if it's one of your favorites, or what kind of memories do you have of this. I remember watching this on VHS a lot when I was a kid. Definitely gonna have to get the original ones on DVD at some point. But either way, I kind of want to watch it on Disney Plus, but who knows? But either way, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you as always on the next one.